fiber. It's time to settle down. Settle down. And listen to the soothing sound. Oh yeah, Tom and Emma. Oh, because this. Oh my God, this. Oh yeah, this. Oh yeah, this is on a roll.
Hello and welcome to On a Roll, where we take an unhealthy obsession in an actor's filmography. I'm Tom, and joining me, as always, is
Emma. Hello, Tom. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm feeling good. Slightly, a little bit stressed, because just as we've come to record this episode, just going to do a little disclaimer up top.
Yeah.
We record at your house.
Yeah. Normally we record in my extremely high-tech professional spare bedroom at the bottom of the bed on the floor. But today my neighbours have taken it upon themselves to just drill the wall.
Literally, as we were about to start recording, just drill galore. So if you hear any unusual sounds during this podcast, it's probably your neighbours. Also, someone else has decided to try and cut down a tree or something.
Yeah, we've got an old man trimming his lawn. We've got another old man cutting down a tree, and then we've got my neighbours seemingly drilling every wall that connects to my house. So as a result, we are in the walk-in wardrobe on the floor, surrounded by clothes.
Highly high tech here at On a Roll.
Yeah,
but it's the only time we can record, so we've taken to choose.
We've just got to roll with it, you would say.
I see what you've done there. I see what you've done there. Have you been up to much since last time we recorded?
Just watching more films.
Watching some more of our beautiful...
Went to the cinema.
Oh, what did you see?
I saw Saint Maud.
Saint Maud?
A new spoopy film.
Oh, spoopy?
Spoopy.
Oh,
because it is Halloween is upon us.
I hate the word spoopy.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't get...
Is it too cute for you?
I don't understand it. Where did it come from?
It's just one of them internet things.
Where did it go?
Where did it come from? Spoopy-eyed Joe.
Where did it originate from?
I don't know. It's just one of them cute internet girl things where they're like,
just
ooh,
girly things.
Ooh, spoopy.
So spoopy.
With the two little fingers off TikTok.
You must have gone to the cinema just before it closed.
Yeah. Oh no. We went to Odeon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are they not closing as well?
No, they're not.
Oh.
And I made sure to buy a Tango Ice Blast, this time as a public service to cinema to make sure they stay open.
Right,
Normally
okay.
I just buy it because I want one, but now it's national service.
Do you know what? There needs to be more people like you in there.
I know.
You should get an MBE. But you should get on the honours list.
I am what they call a good egg.
Service to humanity during the coronavirus pandemic.
I got a large instead of a medium. I'll tell you
Whoa,
what.
You must have been high as a kite after that film.
I was just buzzing for the whole film. Just shaking off all the numbers.
Okay. So this week, we have watched the first two Twilight films.
Yep.
Which for me is an experience because I've only watched the first one before, but watching it again, don't remember it.
Really?
When
did you watch it the first time?
Probably around
when
the time it came out.
Yeah.
Or a year or so
I'm surprised I didn't drag you to see it.
No. I remember they
8.
showed it us at school. I think it was just one of those ones where...
What lesson was that?
It was an English lesson, definitely.
Oh.
I can remember the teacher. But, yeah, they played it to us. It was just one of those lessons where they were just trying to kill the lesson.
Where they were like, I can't be bothered to do anything today, so I'm just going to show these kids a film. And you know what? At the time, you would think, oh, this is so lazy. And now you're an adult, you're like, I think if I was a teacher, they would just be watching films.
Yeah, that's what I'd do.
All day.
So we watched it then, and there's certain scenes, and I've written down, I remember this scene, or I remember that scene. Mm-hmm. But bits of it, I was like, I don't remember this happening at all, or
wow.
I don't remember this transition. I remember this scene, but I don't remember how they got there.
Yeah.
And it's completely different to how I thought it was there.
And New Moon's new to you as well.
New Moon completely new to me.
Wow.
I've never seen it before. I think I've seen a clip of it, and I've seen bits of Jacob and his abs.
Oh yeah, haven't we all?
And obviously, it's not completely foreign to me in the fact that I don't know anything about the franchise. So in the first film, I knew that Jacob and all that, they turn into wolves and things like this, but I didn't know what the plot of the second film was at all.
Oh, okay.
I knew the scene where Edward steps out into the sunlight at the end, but I think that's because I saw it parodied in something else.
Yeah. Yeah,
bit of an experience for me.
I cannot wait to hear what you thought of it.
So shall we just dive straight into it?
Yeah, I think we should.
Get in on with the
It's
Twilight.
always a treat for me to rewatch the Twilight movies because I shamelessly love them. I loved them growing up. Like sort of 2008, 2009, until the last one, obsessed, as we've already talked about.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point where, you're like in college and I did like film A-level and English literature and I was like, Twilight, I'm too good for you now. I'm not interested. It's just tat. And then I got over that obnoxious late teenager thing and now I'm obsessed again and I could literally watch them back to back all day, every day.
Wow. So
yeah.
Probably going into this, I should probably say, when they came out, I obviously just instinctively hated them because because
all the
girls like
girls
them.
were like
Yeah.
interested in Edward Cullen, not you.
So yeah, pretty much.
He's threatening my pool of girls.
Yeah. Oh, girls like it, therefore I must hate it. So yeah, I've never watched them, and I've always been from the point of view of like, oh, it's a shitty girl film or whatever. Not really bothering to learn anything about it.
Classic.
I will say, going into this, I think some of my conceptions have been proven,
Okay.
and some of my initial thoughts have been disproven.
Interesting.
But I feel like I don't because I don't know what general opinion is about these different things. But I feel like I
maybe I can set the record straight.
I'm gonna have to ask you a lot of questions.
As like a long time Twilight fan, I think I can shed some light on whatever you're gonna say.
Yeah, and I'm just very, very aware that I'm gonna have to tread lightly.
Don't bother, Tom. Say what you
I
feel.
I just don't want to piss a load of people off.
Say what you mean.
So if at any point you disagree with me, listener, you're absolutely right. I'm just a dumb idiot man who doesn't like the Twilight films. If you agree with me, then yeah, I'm right, aren't I? Yeah, it is shit. I don't think it's shit.
Early doors.
Early doors there.
Okay.
Right. So my first note that I've got is, why is Bella planting a cactus?
Oh yeah.
Because she had, and then the cactus like features like quite heavily throughout the film for me. It featured more than I thought. Because also she comes from Arizona, does she?
She does, yeah, and she moves to Forks.
So across this entire film is a horrible blue tinge.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah, I always think in my head Twilight blue, New Moon orange.
I've got a note about that. But because in films and stuff, have you seen that meme that it's like it's a picture of the same street and then they just put different colour
when it's
hues
in
over
like
it.
a Middle Eastern country, they make it look like
or
yellow.
Somewhere it's hot, they put like a red, an orange tinge over it. So she's in Arizona, but it looks freezing.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? That's supposed to be Arizona? I don't buy that at all.
Doesn't look warm at all.
Doesn't look warm at all. And then I've got, how my life has changed. I now fancy Kristen Stewart.
Yes.
So when this came out, I remember thinking like,
she's hot.
I remember thinking like, why have they picked her? Isn't she supposed to be like really attractive or whatever? Blah blah blah. Blah. Why have they picked her? And then since then, I think I've seen Kristen Stewart in other things. And you know when,
AKA Charlie's Angels.
I haven't actually seen that film.
Have you not? Well,
no.
She's a force to be reckoned with in that film.
So you know when you see someone in a different light in something, and you can't. It's like unreversible. And you can't, so even in this, I fancy her. They don't like particularly overly sexualize her or anything.
Oh no! The whole thing of Bella, like from the books, is she's meant to be very plain and unassuming, and like, but for some reason, every boy in the school has a crush on her. Like every lad wants a slice of Bella Swan.
Wants a slice.
Wants a slice. So when they cast Kristen Stewart, I think it was just sort of a like unexpectedly pretty actress.
Right.
But you don't look at her and go like, Angelina Jolie is like out of this world. Well, I think she is. Kristen Stewart's meant to be a bit more like plain Jane, but yeah.
And then also Anna Kendrick's in this film.
Yeah, did you not know that?
No, I didn't.
Did you not know that?
I did not know that Anna Kendrick was in
Oh my
these.
goodness, yeah. This was like one of her first sort of big films.
And I have a bit of a crush on her as well.
This podcast is just Tom's crushes in order.
One of my other notes is, Anna Kendrick, my one true crush.
My love, my life, my love.
She's an attractive woman, but also she's very talented. I should say that.
Yeah.
I think she's great.
This is a feminist show.
She does a lot of musical theatre, and I'm into musical theatre.
Yeah.
She's great in the last 5 years. If anyone wants to watch that, it's really good. It's quite depressing.
Oh, cool.
It's about a relationship that breaks down. But what's interesting about it is it's told from the two people's perspectives. And his perspective goes chronologically forwards through their relationship. So it starts at the start of their relationship and ends at the end of their relationship. But her perspective starts at the end of their relationship, and then each scene moves backwards through their relationship.
That sounds quite cool.
In the middle, the two narratives meet at their wedding. And that's the only time that they're like...
Oh, that sounds depressing as
hell.
Well,
in the stage show, that's the only time that they're like sort of on stage together.
I'm not going to watch that.
It's really good.
Sounds sad.
The music is really good.
Oh, okay. Like Twilight, the soundtrack is banging. I hope you've got a note about that.
I didn't really notice the soundtrack, if I'm honest with you. And also, you told me to look out for it last week. I couldn't recognise when Robert Pattinson was singing. Oh,
do you want me to tell you now?
Yeah, go for it.
So, when they're on a date in the cafe and he's looking through everyone's minds to sort of say, I'm reading everyone's minds, and he's pointing at everyone and going, she's thinking about sex, he's thinking about sex, he's thinking about cats, he's playing the music in the cafe, like a nice little acoustic number.
Okay.
It is on the soundtrack if you want to go on Spotify and have a little listen. Or Apple Music. Or your whatever provider you use.
Well, maybe I'm not that interested, but I got...
I don't give a shit.
The fact that I got about that was that the director or something, she like recorded him secretly singing, and then went to the producers and were like,
Yeah.
what do you think of this? And they're like,
Catherine
oh, it's really
Hardwicke.
good. Yeah,
Do you want to know a fun fact about me and her? Well, I say me and her. My journey with Catherine Hardwicke.
Go on.
I was so obsessed with Twilight in like 2008 that my mom got me Catherine Hardwicke's director's handbook for the film with all her notes, scrapbook, like everything in it, like from casting to location shooting. Every last thing about that film, and that is what got me into wanting to like go into the film industry. That's
really?
why I ended up studying film at A levels. Like that's what made me read it and go, wow, there's so much to being a director. I mean, I'm not a director now. I'm nowhere near being a director, in fact, but very interesting.
It sparked passion in you.
It did, yeah, because it made me realise, films like are very complicated
what
to
I
make.
learnt from reading up about this film is she was very hands-on in production. Like there was loads of little
Can you blame her
tidbits,
with Robert Pattinson on the set?
Tidbits like she like hand-painted contact lenses and loads of facts about different cast members wearing items of her clothing.
I'm starting to think she's just a bit weird.
One that stands out is the scene where Edward and Bella kiss for the first time in her bed. Mm-hmm. The shirt that she's wearing is her shirt.
That's a little bit strange.
Yeah,
do you reckon Catherine Hardwicke was like, I just low-key want to imagine it's me?
There's like also, I can't remember now because I didn't write it down, but there was like male cast members wearing her like trousers or something. No, nothing real. Yeah,
Edward's just prancing around in heels.
Makes me feel a bit better, a bit more in character.
God.
So yeah.
Okay.
So my biggest gripe with the film, and I'm sure this isn't a new criticism, and it is weird because obviously they got together in real life, but I just did not feel that
there's zero chemistry.
There's no chemistry between them. And yeah, like I can get behind a film if they have really good chemistry, and even if the film was shit but they had really good chemistry, I'd be like, okay, I buy that they are destined to be together or whatever. But I just don't buy that at all.
No.
And yeah, they're just sort of like, they get together because that's what's supposed to happen.
It's weird, isn't it? And do you know what's funny is I always thought that when I was a bit younger, but I thought I'll just believe it anyway because I want to. But I recently watched on YouTube, there's a video of Robert Pattinson and Hayley Williams from Paramore, who's obviously on the soundtrack. They're doing like an artist-on-artist interview. And Tom, please watch it after we finish this episode. It is the fucking cringiest thing. They are both so awkward. And anyway, Hayley starts asking him about his like acting and like, he's such a serious actor. And she asks him, she's like, why do you always look like you want to kill her and like you're in pain? And he was like, the contact lenses really hurt my eyes and I felt like I couldn't act properly. So he said, like, I was always just, like, straining my eyes because my contact lenses hurt.
Let me tell you, I've got in my notes when he, the first scene that they, like, see each other when she walks into the classroom or whatever.
Oh, when he's like, oh,
yes, so
you stink.
I've got in my notes, is he coming again? I thought we were having a Little Ashes repeat. Because he was he's proper, like...
That's
like,
his cum face.
It's such a weird thing. I also didn't read this in preparation for this, but I remember watching it. I mean, when we were talking about doing this podcast, obviously we both started watching lots of Robert Pattinson interviews and things. But he nearly got fired from Twilight because he wanted to make it more brooding or something like that.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, that's not the direction we're going in.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm going to do it. And then his agent or something called him and was like, you need to like sort your attitude out because they're going to fire you. And he's like, they can't fire me, I'm Edward Cullen. And they're like, no, they're going to fire you.
They can and they will.
And so then apparently the next day he went in and was like, oh yeah guys, yeah, let's do it, it's great, yeah, I love what you're going
Everyone was like, is he okay? On that, do you know who second in the running was to be Edward Cullen?
I've got a few people.
Well, I read that the second in the running was Henry Cavill.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah.
And then there were a couple more people that they
were
eyeing up.
Stephanie Meyer wanted Henry Cavill, but then by the time that they made the film, he was way too old. But having said that, everyone in this film looks about 30. Like all the Cullens,
all the teenagers,
all the Cullens look at least mid-20s.
Well, some of them are kind of meant to be. You may come on to learn as you journey through the franchise. They kind of changed at different stages of their lives. So like Rosalie and Emma, I think, are meant to be like 25 anyway, and they just get away with being in high school because they're so like smooth and beautiful, and everyone's too scared to ask them.
Right, so this is the thing for me. I think this is in the first film. They're like explaining the rules of vampirism in this world.
Yeah.
Obviously, the big issue that I've got is,
come on,
and it's just obviously,
is it that they sparkle?
There's a large criticism that I've heard many times, but I don't understand why they sparkle.
So, okay, I'm with you on that because I'm like an old horror fan. I love stuff like Dracula, like all the Hammer horrors. I'm very much like you go in the sun, you set on fire. The Little Vampire, great film.
Well, here's an interesting fact for you.
Okay.
in Bram Stoker's Dracula, like the book,
Mm-hmm.
one of the weaknesses of a vampire isn't that they don't have an aversion to sunlight. That's like come later. So, which I learned. You're going to hate me for saying this.
Oh, don't say Doctor Who. Don't say
No,
Doctor Who.
not,
okay.
Not Doctor Who.
Something else on the BBC.
So it was on the BBC. But I don't know, around New Year's or Christmas last year, they did, Mark Gatiss and Stephen Moffat did their modern version of Dracula.
Okay. Oh, you did tell me to watch that. I didn't. Sorry.
It's really good, but the last episode's a bit so-so. But they did a documentary about Dracula, and Mark Gatiss went and investigated all the history of Dracula and stuff.
Maybe I should actually watch that.
And it's really interesting. I think that may have been on BBC4.
So in that documentary, they didn't sparkle, is what you're saying?
They
said that vampires shouldn't
no
sparkle. No sparkle.
They've got, like, they don't like bright lights, but they're not. Okay. They don't set on fire.
That's like Dracula. Me. Like, my eyes are really sensitive, so yeah.
I think the sunlight thing, if memory serves me, comes from Nosferatu.
Oh, yeah.
That's the first
time. The little flicky light switch from SpongeBob.
Yeah, that's...
Nosferatu!
That's the first time that, like, because he dies from being in contact with direct sunlight. That's where it originally stems from. Also, I'm just going through the list of powers that they've got. Okay.
Before you do, in the books, I'm pretty sure they say they sparkle because their skin is meant to be as tough as diamonds. Correct me if I'm wrong, listener.
She does say in the film.
I think that's what it is.
It's like diamonds.
Yeah, it's like diamonds.
When he steps into
She's like, oh my god, it's so Swarovski. Can I get this on a ring?
So their skin's supposed to be tough.
Yeah, I think I might have just made that up, but I don't think I did.
I just don't understand how Stephanie Meyer got the logic of. I just don't.
She had a dream.
I don't understand the leap there. Oh, is this true?
She came up with the idea of Twilight from a dream, and she saw like a sparkly boy in a field with a girl, and went from there.
Right. Okay.
So she was like, he sparkles, but I want him to be scary so he can be a vampire, but I want it to be both. Also, while we're on her, did you notice her cameo in the film?
I didn't. I read that she does have one.
Okay.
But to be honest with you, I don't know what she looks like. So
yeah.
Doesn't she look like Bella from the books?
Kind of. Right. She's basically writing about herself, isn't she?
Yeah.
I can't blame her.
So his powers are that he sparkles. He's obviously super fast, super strong.
Yep.
Immortal.
Cold.
Cold. He's a cold boy.
He could like cool down your drink at a party. You know, it's the summer, you're partying, the fridge is full, you want a cold beer, just ask Edward to cradle it for 5 minutes.
He also mentions that one of their powers is that they become super attractive. Like, is sort of a vampire trait.
Because they're meant to like lure you in.
Because I've always like thought it as like it's almost a bit of hypnotism, whereas they are all just very attractive people.
Yeah.
So my question there is, were they attracted before they got bitten? Or does the vampire venom, which is also a weird concept to me, the vampire venom.
Yeah.
This venom, make you attractive?
In the books, it's kind of written as though you just become a really sexy version of yourself. So you still look like you, but maybe it's like an Instagram filter.
Right, okay.
It makes your nose a bit thinner, makes your eyes bigger, your skin really smooth. But like, yeah, I don't know. If you're like a real uggo, I don't think it would really help.
Okay. And then I don't understand. She's like obsessed with the whole thing. The reason that people like it is it the whole that they can't have each other. That was what it felt like. The whole thing was like, oh my god, it's so sexy because it's so forbidden.
Well, I think the whole cover of the first book is like the apple, and it's like meant to be like the forbidden fruit. Like Bella's the forbidden fruit because he can't bite her.
I read a fact about
and he
this.
wants to bite her.
People say that, but apparently Stephanie Meyer says that she chose it because it's bad things happen around apples in like literally I forget. It's in like
bad apple.
It's like in Greek mythology, someone takes an apple or Snow White and all that.
Okay, fair enough.
But you can link it to that as well.
So what else do you have on your notes, Tom? We haven't even got to New Moon yet.
So I've probably got more to say about New Moon.
Okay. New Moon.
So he can read minds.
Yeah, that's his. So yeah, vampires all have the same powers. Like they're super sexy, super fast, super cold.
They each have their own individual.
Yeah. So Edward can read minds. Alice can see visions of the future. Mm-hmm. Emma is just like freak strong. Jasper can change everyone's emotions in the room.
Right. So this is dipping into New Moon a little bit.
Okay.
But they just randomly mention that in New Moon.
What, Jasper's thing?
Yeah, because
it's at the start.
She doesn't want any birthday presents or something.
Yeah.
And then
she cuts her finger.
She doesn't want any birthday presents, and then someone gives her a birthday present.
Yeah.
Is it Alice?
Yeah.
The one that can see the future. She's like, I've seen that you already love it. And she invites her to dinner that night, and she doesn't want to go. And then suddenly she goes, "Okay, yeah, I'll go." And
Bella is so moody.
And then she goes, "Oh, that was really unfair of you, Jasper, using that whole mood changing thing. And I went, wait, what? Is that a thing he can do? Oh, okay.
Exposition.
Yeah. There's loads of exposition
Yeah.
that I was like, obviously in the book, I would imagine that it would be like because there's a bit in the car, she grazes his hand and she goes, oh, you're so cold.
Yeah, it's so chilly.
I imagine that in the book it would be like she grazed his hand and his touch was icy cold and it really freaked her out.
Yeah.
Because that's not a thing that you would say.
No.
Is it? And then, there's also, I've got that literary lines don't translate well
We know this.
to live action.
Yeah.
The one that made me write it was, and so the lion fell in love with the lamb or something.
What a stupid little lamb.
Yeah.
What a sad
So
masochistic lion.
apparently Stephanie
Classic.
Meyer fought for that to be in the film. It just doesn't work. Like you just
But it
sound
does though, Tom. It's fantastic.
If-
That whole scene is like, woo, she's up against the rock. It's all dark. Oh, it's fantastic. Absolute cinema. Chef's kiss.
I have to say, for me, it wasn't.
Was that not the height of cinema for you?
No,
Okay.
because I think you've just had before that him like running like fucking Naruto through the forest with
Did
her
you
on
notice
his back.
the spider monkey?
I did.
Yeah.
I also had written down another monkey quote. There's a bit when they're playing baseball and one of them like runs up a tree and catches it or something, and one of them goes, "That's my monkey man."
Yeah.
And I was like,
Oh yeah, that's Rosalie, I think.
I was like, what? So what's her problem?
Do you know what? I can't actually remember. She's just a moody bitch. Is that her
She just
power?
fucking hates Bella. I just don't understand it.
I
Just out of
think
nowhere.
she hates Bella because she's worried that Bella's going to give away all their secret, and they've never had like a human in the coven before.
Right.
Whatever.
In the Cullen Coven.
In the gang,
In the Cullen Coven.
the Culven. That was a real tongue twister there.
And-
the Culven.
So the first hour, over an hour, I think, is all set up for her finding out that he's a vampire.
Yeah, I know what you are.
Like, I felt it really picked up when the other vampires came in and they had to like hide from the other vampires.
Yeah.
That's when it got
Oh,
interesting.
James and the
Giant Pete.
basically the Black Eyed Peas.
yes. I didn't think of it like that, but yes, that's when it like really got interesting.
Yeah.
Up until that point, I was just like, yeah, he's a vampire. We know he's a vampire.
It's a romance,
So-
Tom.
There wasn't
Enjoy it for what it is.
There wasn't a lot of romancing going on. No,
No.
I'm all for a.
You liked Vanity Fair.
I did like Vanity Fair.
Yeah.
I'm all for a romance. Okay. I think it was just the fact that I didn't believe that they liked each other.
Yeah. I don't think it helps that Robert Pattinson clearly couldn't get over the fact his contacts were stinging his eyes.
Well,
and
also, I read
Kristen
that
Stewart's
Kristen
a bit-
Stewart was wearing contacts as well.
yeah, maybe they were both just staring at each other with their eyes watering, like, I love you. Did you like when he shows her around his bedroom and she asks it? She's like, no bed. I'm like,
I mean,
"Ooh,
that was one of the first things that I noticed.
Vicky."
So, and also, he says there that he never sleeps.
Mhm.
At the end, when she wakes up in the hospital, he's asleep. Is he just pretending
He
to be
pretends,
asleep
yeah,
there?
because he has to act human, so no one.
Right.
So they have to like fake breathe, fake blink. Well, they
Fake
real
blink.
blink, but
Right. So by the end of the film, I was like, you know what, this isn't too offensive.
okay. So what
Um,
did you like? Any favourite characters other than Anna Kendrick?
I did like Anna Kendrick's character.
She's annoying.
I like Jacob
Mm.
already in this
Even
film.
with his long hair.
So I actually prefer him with his long hair
Shut up.
in this film because
Shut up.
it's real hair. I think in the second film it's a wig.
Oh right, okay. When he's got long hair.
When
in
he's
the
got long
second
hair
film,
in
yeah.
the second film, it's a wig. But
Yeah,
in
it
this
does
one,
look a
it's
bit dodgy.
actual long hair. I
Yeah.
think. I don't think that's a bad look.
No,
But I think that
do.
might be because there's a character in a TV series that I watched that has like longish hair like that, and he pulls it off. So
What's that?
it's the Flash.
Oh, the Flash.
Yeah, there's a character called Cisco in that, and he has long hair.
Oh, okay.
Pretty cool.
Oh,
He's not-
okay.
he's a nerd, but he's obviously I like him because he's a nerd.
Which means he's cool because
Which means
I'm
he's
cool.
because I'm cool. I'm a nerd.
Does he like BBC shows? This character?
Well, he's American, so
So no.
no. Yeah, unless it's BBC,
BBC America,
maybe.
yeah. What else did you like about Twilight? The list is short. I can't believe you didn't take note of the soundtrack. I'm a bit sad about that.
I didn't really know.
Did you not
So-
enjoy the Muse
so I start-
Supermassive Black Hole during the
I s-
baseball?
I started to notice a lot of things from when we were at school. So obviously you mentioned Hayley Williams is on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Did you like Paramore before this, or
Oh yeah, way before. I got into Paramore.
So it was just a bonus that.
Yeah, I got into Paramore because they were on the Sims soundtrack, Sims 2,
Right.
and that was like 2006.
Something I also noticed, and it may not have been you, it may have been our mutual friend previously mentioned in episode 1,
Yeah.
Patty Pounds, but Bella wears a certain bracelet.
Yeah.
It's got like Virgin
Yeah,
Mary on or
yeah.
something.
Oh, they were quite popular anyway when we were in school.
Right, okay. So
I
I
didn't wear
remember
those.
I remember specifically that they were worn a lot around people.
But do you remember me dyeing my hair brown because that was why I wanted to look like Bella.
I didn't remember that, actually.
Yeah. You probably blocked it out because it's so traumatic.
Oh, no, I do remember you with brown hair, actually.
Awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember it being awful.
Oh, you're too sweet. It was horrible.
It obviously wasn't that bad because I don't remember, oh, yeah, you went through that awful brown hair phase.
I feel like that's because you're a boy.
Yeah, maybe.
You probably didn't even notice.
You had hair.
I thought you'd been blonde your whole life. You had hair.
Didn't you?
I was bald as school.
Yeah. You dyed it black, did you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, at one
because I did it myself, and it was really patchy. So everyone at school called me Patchy the Pirate for months.
Again, you say everyone. I don't remember you being called Patchy the Pirate.
You probably weren't listening. I was sat there like being absolutely mocked.
I certainly didn't call you Patchy the Pirate.
Well, that's why we're still friends.
Yeah.
I don't like anyone else from school.
So yeah, that's probably the list of things that I like.
Wow, okay.
I like the baseball scene. That
Yeah.
was pretty cool.
The fact that they play baseball only in the
And
store.
I like the delving into a bit of the... Maybe this is showing my hand of which side I fall on, because I know there's a bit of Team Edward and Team Jacob.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you at the end of the episode, so save it.
I do like that they delve a bit into, or they tease a little bit the
Wolf Boys.
The Wolf Boys. Now
Wolf
this is a
Boys.
question from me for you. Is that set up in the first book?
Yeah.
So she does tease that in the first book,
Yeah.
that they're Wolf Boys.
Yeah, but like
Okay.
more than in the film.
Oh, okay.
You get more of it
Because
than in the film.
I thought maybe they teased it more in this film, because obviously he says at the end like, "Oh, I leave you for 2 minutes and the wolves descend." Oh.
Yeah, no, in the book you get a lot more of like the rivalry and the history behind
Right.
it.
Okay.
It's a great book, Tom. You should read it.
Because
I've got it if you want to borrow it.
I think I'll give it a pass. I thought that she would have just gone, "Oh, I need to make a sequel," and then like, added that in.
No, oh
Right.
no.
So it was all planned.
Not our Stephanie.
Okay.
No, she's
Also,
an artist.
You know this book that's just come out, Midnight Sun?
Mm-hmm.
How long's she been writing that?
I think a while because she mentioned it years ago.
There's a few facts that I've found where, like, what's the director's name?
Catherine Hardwicke.
She says that she's filmed a scene with Robert Pattinson directly out of Midnight Sun.
Yeah.
But obviously this film was filmed over 10 years ago.
I think that she's had it in the works that she wanted to do a book from Edward's perspective for a while,
Right.
but she's only just brought it to fruition.
Because also there's a line in the film that's in Midnight Sun as well, which is the new girl shows up and all the boys are acting like they're in whatever grade, acting like you're the new toy. Apparently that's in Midnight Sun.
I would honestly hedge my bets that Stephanie Meyer just took that from the film
Well,
and put it in the book.
So I read that fact first, and then I was like, oh, she's just copied it from the film. But then
Yeah.
I read the other one about them filming the
I think
scene.
it's a bit of both.
Yeah. Anyway,
way,
we've talked about that
Fantastic
for
art.
quite a while.
Yeah. Now tell us what you really feel about New Moon.
Well,
Which
should I do a rating of Twilight, or obviously
yeah.
you're going to say it's a pat on the back?
Oh, I was going to do Twilight or Twishite.
I wouldn't watch it again. But
What?
I,
What?
I would,
Is that not a proper cozy film for you?
no,
It's
it
proper
was
nostalgia
really,
fuel for me, honestly.
So that's what I
Nostalgia
find interesting
fuel.
about this, is that this is sort of the first big franchise that I've not been a fan of.
That's mad.
So like, it's really weird for me, like, being on the outside looking in.
I find it interesting though, getting your take on it as like
Yeah.
a film fan, a Robert Pattinson fan, and just a person that's not been involved.
So I would say it's probably more Twilight for me, but I don't think I'm the target audience. I think the target audience for this, I think
Teenage
you
girls.
were in the perfect
Yeah.
demographic for it,
Mhm.
because it's very angsty, very teenagery, very.
Are you saying I was an angsty teenager?
Look, I don't want to point any
If
fingers,
the boot fits, wear it.
but
so
it's very
yeah.
high. It's very high emotion, isn't it? It's very, when you've got hormones pumping around your body,
yeah.
and you're feeling every emotion feels like it's
Yeah.
the end of the world.
Yeah, I used to read Twilight and just cry as if I'd been through that. I was like 12.
And all the characters in it feel like that, which is weird because Edward is like 100 odd or whatever. So you would think he knows better.
Well, it's funny you should say that because in the first page of Midnight Sun, Stephanie Meyer writes a note to her audience, being people like me.
Yeah.
And it's like talking about, you've been with me all these years, you were only young teenagers when this came out, and now you're all adults, and I hope that you found the love that you thought you found in this book when you were younger. And I was like, I have, Stephanie, I have found my love. And Luke, my boyfriend, was just like, oh my God, I am not your Edward Cullen, okay?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I was like, that's so sweet of you to say.
But yeah, does Midnight Sun feel like that? Does it still feel quite angsty, or?
Well, it's written from Edward's perspective, so he's very like proper and old.
Right.
He acts like an old man, which kind of makes it really horrible to read because she's so young and
Right.
he's like a pervy old man. And when he sneaks into her bedroom, from our perspective as Bella, we're like, oh my God,
Well,
he's in
yeah.
her bedroom. And then from from
He
Edward's
exhibits
perspective,
a lot
you're
of
like,
weird behaviour.
when you're reading it from Edward, you're just like, dude, you need therapy. This is not normal.
So yeah, it's a twishite from me.
Well, that's a crying shame, I must
Yeah.
say.
So we'll move on to New Moon. So going from Twilight, I thought that was all right. I didn't love it though. But I'm excited to get more into this mythology of like the wolves and shit.
Can I just say, New Moon is my favourite of the films. So
Okay.
be careful.
So reading up on it, it's Robert Pattinson's favourite film as well of the Twilight.
That's because he's a Taurus. Me and him,
apparently
we're
he,
the same.
in a 2019 interview, he said he rewatched it on TV and he really enjoyed it and was reminiscing about all the good times that he had in the Twilight franchise.
After he spent like 10 years slagging
Trying
it off.
to distance himself from it. So initially I enjoyed it more.
Mm-hmm.
There's not that much Edward in it, which I think maybe I enjoyed it more because of that.
No, but this is the Robert Pattinson season.
I know, but look, I think he's doing a stellar job. I just don't think the character.
Stella.
I just don't think the character's that great.
I mean, from a girl's perspective, you don't want to be with a lad that's cold. You want a warm lad. So
yeah,
from
a warm boy.
a warm boy. So just from purely practical perspective, I don't fully understand why she's so into Edward.
She also says early on in the first film that she doesn't like things that are cold and wet.
I think she does say that.
Yeah.
And that's when everyone goes, hoo.
That's the thing she says.
Dirty bitch.
So the beginning, he's cheered up a bit, Edward, and then there's like one bad incident at this party, and then he just like runs away.
Yeah.
And and also she is obsessed with becoming a vampire.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That she's getting too old.
She wants the nibble. She wants him to nibble her.
But she's like freaking out that she's really old when she's still like 16, 17, 18, I don't know. And yeah, they have this argument, and I've just got in my notes, I'm not sure who's being a dick here, because I don't know which one of them's in the wrong.
I think they're both just difficult.
Yeah, he doesn't want to make her immortal. It doesn't really delve into it that much, but obviously like a lot of like vampire things are like
his
living
whole thing,
forever is an issue.
Yeah, his whole thing is that he basically had the choice taken away from him because Carlisle turned him or he was going to die, and he wouldn't have chosen that. He just wanted a normal life and to like grow old with the person he loves and then die. So he thinks that it's wrong for Bella to do that by choice because she should just live a normal life with someone.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
and
think
she's
he's probably
like,
in the right then.
Yeah, and then she just wants to be a vampire because she doesn't want to get old. And I do get that from her perspective, because would you want to be with your like sexy 18-year-old looking vampire boyfriend while you're like an old lady?
Yeah, no, I understand that. There's just not a lot of good communication going on between them, is there?
No, I think they should have gone to couples therapy, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Maybe...
Because Edward just running away, I mean, shake my head.
And then the next issue I have is, I've never seen someone bleed so much.
Oh, from a small paper cut.
Just accidentally get cut all the time. Like, you'd think if you're around a vampire or a family of vampires, you'd be uber careful, but she just doesn't give a shit.
No.
Because how does she cuts herself paper cut, doesn't she?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, I've never seen anyone bleed that much from a paper cut.
No, from wrapping paper as well, which is really soft.
And then Jasper goes mental. Is it Jasper?
Yeah, he's a hungry boy, Tom.
And then she bleeds even more.
Yeah.
And then Edward's like, well, see you, bitch. And goes.
Well, if you can't be careful when you open your prezzies, I'm out of here, babes.
And then she's mega emo.
Yeah, did you like the whole... So I'll give you a fun little insight here. So the scene where it's kind of like the seasons are changing and it just revolves around
like
her in
scene.
the chair. It's a good scene. Do you know how they represent that in the book?
No.
It's just it's the most lazy writing in the world. Each page is just a different month, just on the page. So it'll just be like January, you turn over. February, you turn over. March, you turn over. Even me at 13, like with no literary skill, I was just like,
you could either think that that's genius or think
shit.
that that's lazy writing.
I did just feel like I would have liked maybe just a nice couple of pages about like the seasons changing and
Even I think 5 months later would be better than that.
But it's just like month by month.
Yeah. She goes mega emo and she starts having night terrors.
Yeah. Which are really uncomfortable to watch. I don't know what you think, but the noises Kristen Stewart makes are not enjoyable.
It's quite strange. And then she starts...
She just turns suicidal.
Right. I've just got in capital letters. What the fuck is Edward's floating head?
Oh, when she keeps seeing him.
Because the first time he appears, it's just like a floating head, and he's like, don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, why is that happening?
She has realised that she can only envision him when she's like in danger or she's frightened, so she starts doing really
Right.
reckless things so he'll
So-
like visit her. Like in her head. He's not actually
So,
there.
right, I took it to be that it was like another power that he had,
No.
and that
She's
would,
just going
he
cray-cray.
would only visit her to stop her doing things when she was in danger.
No, he's nothing to
Oh,
do
she was
with her.
right.
Yeah, she was just like thrill seeking, so she would start hallucinating that he was there.
So that only sort of came to a realization to me when he thought that she was dead at the end.
Mm.
So she starts doing reckless things, and then that means that she goes and tries to get Jacob to fix her bike so that she can go dirt biking and be reckless. Because that is the most reckless thing that I can think of.
Just dirt biking with
Yeah.
your wolf mate.
Yeah. And then he's really nice, and I'm big team Jacob
Oh, okay. You're just
Going-
going to say
I'm going
it.
early
You're just going to
doors.
say it. All right. Okay.
because
That doesn't surprise me, Tom.
Because
That's all I'm saying.
he's really nice. He does everything for her, and they have great chemistry. Like they actually have a bit of banter back and forth, and like he's just a nice guy.
I just think he's letting her mug him off, and he should have more self-respect.
Well, I mean, he should, yeah, he should. Then he turns into a wolf, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So we've got into the vampire mythology.
And then he's like, "Let me show you my floof."
Got into the vampire mythology. Can you explain to me the werewolves in this? Because I don't think they're werewolves.
They are not.
Okay.
They are actually shapeshifters.
Right.
I probably should have done some research because I can't quite remember because I haven't read them in a
Are
very long
they-
time. But they're not werewolves. No, they're
Are they
shapeshifters.
Wendigos?
No, they're literally just called shapeshifters.
Oh, right, okay.
But I like your thinking. I like where you're going. I like where your head's
Yeah.
at. Mm.
Because, yeah, they don't... It's called New Moon,
Uh huh.
and, like, there's lots of moon imagery in it,
Yeah.
but it's not around the moon, is it?
No.
I think he says that they only start turning into wolves when vampires show up. That's
Is that what he says?
At one point, he's like, if a new vampire rolls into town,
Oh,
then
and they start
the
getting
change
their powers.
the change starts happening, or the fever sets in. He says.
Yeah.
So can they
Yeah.
always turn into them, or is it only when vampires are around?
I thought they could always turn into them, but maybe I've remembered that wrong.
I don't know. Maybe I misunderstood it.
Maybe.
But
I mean, let's be honest. It doesn't really make sense.
no, a lot of this doesn't make sense.
No. Oh, just quickly, what did you think of sort of the CGI of the wolves while we're on the topic? Bear in mind the age of this film.
Not bad,
Yeah.
but not. I've seen some. I think from a later film that's a bit worse.
Mm.
So it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't the best CGI that I've seen.
Wasn't quite Professor Lupin, was it?
No. Yeah, so I'm a big team Jacob, and then she says that she doesn't want to get with him, and he's a bit sad.
Yeah.
And then she decides that she does want to get with him,
Mm-hmm.
and then the fucking second the fucking Cullens roll back into town,
It's
she's
"Oh,
fucking Team
Edward."
Edward again, fucking bitch. Fuck you, Bella. After
You
everything that
fickle-
Jacob's done for
You
you.
fickle bitch. Well, I
I
will.
text you after this film saying I have some opinions, and let me tell you, I was pissed.
I
I did not know that I would get so involved, but I was like, you fucking little bitch, Bella. Fucking running off to Edward. Edward's left you for over a year, probably. I don't know how long the time frame is, but he's left you for over a year. And the second, oh, he's a little bit sad. I'm going to run off and fucking help Edward. Then I'm going to get back with Edward the second that I seen you, fucking fickle bitch.
Well, let me just tell you now, Tom, that the whole kind of Twilight franchise is based on will she, won't she with both of them. So it's not going to end there. You're going to get more angry.
I was so angry. I was like, I'll see if I can find some notes.
I will tell you though, Tom, there's a good scene coming in Eclipse. I won't spoil it, but it's going to make your Team Jacob heart happy. For the listener,
Okay.
it's the tent scene.
Right.
You're going to love that shit.
Also, everyone acts like Jacob is about 12 years old,
Mhm.
where he looks like a fully grown man.
He is a fully grown man.
Like someone's like, "Oh, is Bella going to buy your ticket to the cinema for you because you're not actually old enough to
He
watch
is
the
meant to be
film?"
2 years younger.
Right, okay. He doesn't look it.
Yeah.
So it was very jarring.
Yeah.
Also, he's the only one that's like properly ripped out of the wolves.
Taylor Lautner was like, right, I'm going to have to be naked for a lot of this film.
I read that there was a lot of discussion back and forth after the first film whether he was going to be recast because they
Aw.
didn't think that he would be able to bulk up, and then he put on 26 pounds or something of muscle. And
Take that.
And they were like, "Oh, yeah, we'll have you." But so these are my notes towards the end of the film.
Oh my goodness. Here we go.
I fucking hate Bella. I hate that she's fucked off to go to Edward. I hate that this is Romeo and Juliet.
Yes.
'Cause-
Yes.
I was just like, oh, this is yeah, he's gonna commit suicide and she's got to stop. Oh, it's fucking Rome. Because when it started with Romeo and Juliet, I was like, first of all, there was a Romeo and Juliet book on her bed, and I thought that was where it was going to end.
Yeah.
Because I got, oh, they're doing a bit of Romeo and Juliet symbolism. Oh, how deep, how nice. Then they fucking watched Romeo and Juliet, and I was like, that's a bit on the nose.
Yeah, yeah.
And then she fucking has to run through Italy, where
in the Maserati,
where Romeo and Juliet's set.
Parallels. I'm very impressed you picked up on all this.
Fucking stupid. Fucking.
You love it. You fucking love it. I can see the passion in your eyes.
So I got more into this one, obviously, as you can tell from my outburst about Bella leaving Jacob.
Because it's the best one.
Right. So is it downhill from here?
No, okay, so watching them when they came out, Eclipse was always my favourite because it's just a lot more badass.
Right.
And I hated New Moon.
I just don't I
hated it.
I also don't understand what the story can be from here on out.
Oh, Tom.
I mean, I know because
you're in for a treat.
Michael Sheen's in this.
Yeah.
I fucking love Michael Sheen.
Don't we all?
And I know that he is in the last one.
Yep.
So I assume there's going to be a bit more of an issue with the
Volturi.
The Volturi. Also, fucking convenient that they watched Romeo and Juliet, and then Edward goes, "Oh, by the way, you know when you were going to turn into a vampire and I stopped it, I was going to kill myself, and the way that I was going to kill myself was the Volturi. Who are the Volturi? Funny you should ask. It's the leader of the vampires, and oh, that's actually going to be the plot of this film."
Exposition.
I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Also, both films start with the end of the film.
Mm-hmm.
Do all of the films do that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Do they actually? Is that like a trope of Twilight?
I think so, yeah.
So I've picked up on it early.
Yeah. You've done very well, I must say.
Well, let me tell you, this isn't my first rodeo.
This isn't my first Romeo.
Oh, and the fact that he fucking knows Romeo and Juliet, like, off by heart. I mean, fair play.
He knows everything off by heart because he has nothing better to do.
With his time.
Yeah, he's just like reading, memorising.
Oh, I better learn Romeo and Juliet in case someone asks me in a class.
Yeah. Whether
I've been listening or not. Also, how would he know what part of the film they were at?
It's a very good point.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
It's a bit sus.
Yeah.
Bit sus.
Suspicious.
Edward. I was about to call him Jacob. Also, I've always heard it Team Edward, Team Jacob, but for the entirety of the film, she calls him Jake.
Yeah, but his name's Jacob.
Yeah, why does she call him Jake, though? It just feels really weird to me.
Because it's meant to be like a you're my kid brother sort of character. Oh, Jake, you're so
my
cute.
Kid brother who I want to fuck.
Trust me, it gets worse.
Right.
If you think that's weird.
Because to begin with, I thought, this Jacob and Edward thing isn't going to be as big as I thought it was, because she seems to initially be like, no, we're not going to get together. Yeah. But then towards the end of the film, like when they have their confrontation, Jacob and Edward, so she's with Edward at this point. Mm-hmm. It's pretty clear that she's going to go Team Edward.
Yeah. She's got the Team Edward t-shirt.
Yeah.
Fucking bitch.
Little bitch. Fuck you, Bella. Oh, I've got also...
I feel like you've taken this very personally, John.
Yeah, I have. Also, I've got, when all the Volturi are doing... Also, why didn't none of their powers work on her? Is that explained?
No.
She's just a magic woman, is she?
Yeah.
Fucking stupid Bella. I got maybe the reason none of them can read her mind is because there's fucking nothing going on in there. Stupid blank ass bitch.
Tom.
Sorry.
Don't be mean.
I said at the beginning of this I didn't want to offend anyone, but
and now you're just like stupid, brainless bitch.
Sorry, Bella fans.
I don't think they exist. I don't think anyone likes her.
So people like Edward and Jacob.
Everyone agrees she's a dumb bitch, and she's rude for pulling them.
Yeah. So
to and fro.
So back to the confrontation. She's like, "Whoa, Jacob, Jake, calm down."
Jakey.
And she steps right up in his grill and is like,
in his abs.
Will I kiss you? Will I not? Oh no, I'm with Edward.
For the listener, Tom's tongue was out for most of what he just said, and it was horrible.
Yeah. So maybe I did get invested more in this than I thought.
I
had some.
I told you had some. A shower.
I told you I had some opinions about it.
Yeah. Well,
but,
do you know what?
Probably a pat on the back. This one.
Pat on the back. Yeah.
Yeah. Made me feel some things.
Did it make your achy jakey heart hurt?
I enjoyed it more than the first one.
I
also enjoyed the colour palette more.
Yeah, just nice, warm.
So what I read was
neutral.
That it was a conscious choice.
Yeah.
So the first film was about her getting with Edward, so it was all cold and subdued.
Yeah.
And then this one was about her getting with Jacob, so it was more warm.
Nothing subtle about it, is there really?
No. So I appreciate an artistic decision, an artistic choice. Some of these feel like very
on the nose.
On the nose,
yeah.
And very forced or like token.
Yeah.
Also, is it a trope of Twilight that in each film they recreate the cover of the book?
Yeah.
So in the first one, obviously, he catches the apple. In this one, I didn't catch it at all, but in reading up about it, it's when the doctor sets the gauze of her blood on fire. Apparently, it makes the flower. I didn't know that there was a flower on the...
Mm-hmm.
So did they do that in every film?
I think so, yeah.
I kind of like that, I guess. I appreciate that. And apparently, from the director of the second film, which isn't
Catherine.
No.
Good old Kate.
He's the director. I forget his name now, but he directed The Golden Compass.
Yeah.
Apparently, he said that he enjoyed working with Summit. Is it Summit who makes these films?
Mm-hmm.
Because he said that they gave him more freedom and they appreciated the source material more than the company he worked with to make The Golden Compass.
That's interesting.
He was
Well,
like-
The Golden Compass was shit.
He said it didn't
so-
feel. Well, apparently that film
I hate
he
that.
made, and then they like completely re-edited it and reworked it.
That's
after.
a shame.
So it wasn't the film that he wanted to make, and he said that they appreciated the source material more and the fans more, so it didn't feel like it was just like a corporate machine to make money.
Yeah, even though
I would say
it had
that-
that effect.
I say that it would have that effect because they split the last film into two.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much to it, Tom.
Is there?
It's plot dense.
Is
It's
it? Is it
Breaking
actually?
Dawn. Yeah.
Right, okay.
It will blow your mind.
So I know a little bit about what's to come.
Oh.
I
I hope you haven't had anything major spoiled.
know that there's a child,
Mm-hmm.
and I know who the child gets with.
So you know that Jacob's a nonce.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Glad we've all got that covered early
Yeah.
doors.
Yeah, no, that's not going to be a shock for me when my beloved Jacob turns into a nonce.
That's enough to make me just Team Edward based on that. But I'm Team Edward anyway.
Are you actually?
Yep, been Team Edward from day
Oh
one.
my fucking... And there it was, ladies and gentlemen. We ended on episode 3 of On a Roll. Get out.
This is my house. You get out.
Well, okay. You may have the upper hand here. But,
Team
yeah.
Edward.
Oh, wow.
I had a t-shirt.
I thought I knew you.
I wish I had it still.
Okay, well, yeah, that gets a pat on the back from me.
Yeah.
I think I've raged enough and probably offended enough listeners.
Mm-hmm.
So shall we do official Robert Pattinson ranking?
Every time you say that, I'm like, that is such a hard thing to say. Official Robert Pattinson ranking.
Look, official Robert Pattinson ranking.
Oh, there's also a Robert Twilight fact for you. Just a random one.
Not Robert Pattinson fact of the week.
No, because this is a
bonus fact.
This is a bonus
Robert
fact,
Pattinson
yeah.
bonus fact of the week.
Yeah, so apparently the directors really wanted Robert Pattinson to get his teeth done because they said his teeth looked janky. They were like, your teeth are awful.
I've not mentioned this up until now, but his teeth are an issue for me, yeah.
Well, he said to them, no, I'm not getting my teeth done. Classic Rob. But also that he fucked up his own teeth by not wearing his braces properly when he was growing up, like his retainers. Mad
Also,
that, innit?
side note, do they ever get fangs?
They do when they start to bite, they like come out.
Right,
They're like
I've not
retractable.
seen them.
Did you not notice when he was
No.
biting Bella's arm in the first one? His
No.
teeth come out.
Oh, right, okay.
His little teeths.
So, anyway, official Robert Pattinson ranking.
Okay. Well.
Shall I read it to you as it stands thus far?
Yeah, so as it stands, here we go.
Shall I do it top to bottom or bottom to top?
Let's start from the bottom.
So, at the bottom of the list so far, it's The Haunted Airman.
And that is where it shall stay.
That's where it shall stay. Second from the bottom, Sword of Xanten. Then we quickly followed by How to Be. Moving quickly up into fourth position, Vanity Fair.
I want you to start reading this more like a sports leadership table. What do you call it? I don't watch sports.
The league table? Neither do I. So
Okay.
you're asking the wrong person.
Oh, okay. Just put a bit more
I was trying
vavavoom
to-
into
I was
it.
trying to do it a bit like the top 40 on BBC Radio 1.
For fuck's sake. Okay, yeah, go for it.
In at number 3, it's Little Ashes. In at number 2, you guessed it, it's The Bad Mother's Handbook. And the number 1 spot this week on a roll, it's Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. That's not how they do it on Radio 1 at all,
Yeah, but please,
I really enjoyed
please
that.
keep that up. That's brilliant.
So where should we put Twilight?
I mean, I for one think it's better than Little Ashes,
Better than Little Ashes.
but it's not as good as Goblet of Fire. If we said it was,
Is it better than Bad Mother's Handbook?
Yes. Yes. Tom. Tom.
Where are you going to put New Moon, though?
Above Twilight.
I'd happily put New Moon between Bad Mother's Handbook and Harry Potter.
Yeah, so second.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll
So New
sandwich
Moon's-
that in
New
first.
Moon's second.
Yeah.
I just don't know where I want to put...
Are we going to have an issue?
It is better than Little Ashes, isn't it?
It is.
And it is better than Bad Mother's Handbook. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it goes Harry Potter, New Moon, Twilight, Bad Mother's Handbook, Little Ashes, Vanity Fair, How to Be, Sword of Xanten, Haunted Airman.
Yeah. Love that.
I thought we were going to have an issue there for a second, but
I did.
I had to be true to myself.
I was about to fight you, if I'm honest. I was about to get
Launch
real
across
fuming.
the table.
Say that to my face.
So yeah, that's the official standings.
Official Robert Pattinson ranking.
Ranking, sorry. Have you got your Robert Pattinson fact of the week sorted? Oh, there's a
Yes.
ding. Do you want to hit us with it?
Yeah, I will hit you. I will hit you.
Look, I know I said some
In the
nasty things
face.
about Edward, but there's no need to actually turn to physical violence. I just asked you for a fact.
So, Robert Pattinson fact. Robert Pattin fact.
Patin fact.
Pattin fact of the week. So, at one point, a crew member brought a fan's baby to set and asked Robert Pattinson to take a photo with it. To quote Pattinson, somewhere out there is a photo of me biting a baby's head, but Edward is a vegetarian, so it's okay. So, someone brought their baby
this is to
on
the set of Twilight.
On Twilight, yeah, sorry. And instead of just taking a nice photo with it, he actually physically put his jaw around the baby's head.
Have you found that photo?
I have. No one's found it. So, if anyone knows where this photo may be,
give us a shout.
Please send me this photo of Robert Pattinson trying to eat a baby.
Oh,
if that fact doesn't sum up what kind of dude he is.
He's a great guy, isn't he? So,
yeah.
Obviously last week I said the fact about him pleasuring himself in little ashes.
Oh, I'd forgotten about that.
I'm going to bring it up every week, probably.
I don't like...
Because it haunts my dreams.
Like it.
But I was thinking, I need to verify whether it's true or not. Because one of...
What, have you been watching it again and again
No. Because he's known for saying things in interviews that aren't true.
Oh, like the clown story. Have you seen that?
I've seen that clip.
The video, yeah.
Someone asks him, I can't remember what the question is. Or like the first time he went to the theatre or something like that. And he says he went to a circus and the clown slit his own throat or something, or died.
Something like that. He basically says he watched a clown die, and that's not true at all.
It traumatised him, and then he said since then that it's not true.
And when he was asked about it in the future, he was like, "Oh, I just didn't want them to think I was boring, so I just made something up."
So like the wanking thing feels like it could be that, but
how do we find out?
He doesn't.
It's
going to be some dodgy Google.
He doesn't have social media.
Does he not?
So I can't tweet him because he would obviously answer me if I asked.
Yeah, you know him.
Yeah, I do.
It's you and Rob, isn't it?
Yeah, just me and Rob.
Rob and I.
Rob and I on a journey.
Big Rob, big tubs.
Big tugs. Not again.
Big tubs, giving it big tubs.
I feel like towards the end of each podcast, we just lose our minds a bit and just start saying things.
Saying random words.
Big
yeah,
tugs.
so we should probably wrap it up before we do that.
Wrap it up.
Well,
I hope you enjoyed watching Twilight and New Moon.
I enjoyed New Moon. I enjoyed New Moon more than Twilight.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair assessment.
I'm sort of looking forward to seeing what Eclipse is like.
I think you're gonna.
If there's more Jacob in Eclipse, then I'll be a fan of that.
Jacob sticks around. Not to spoil it, but he sticks around.
Right, okay.
Much to Edward's disdain.
Right.
Edward wants him gone.
What's the ginger one?
What's the ginger one?
The vampire that wants to kill Bella.
Oh, Victoria.
She's not dead, is she?
Victoria, Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas.
Is that who it is?
No.
Oh.
No. But in the film, they are the Black Eyed Peas. Yeah.
So she's going to make a return, presumably.
I know
that she's recast for the third film.
Yeah.
Because I read that in my research.
Do you know who she's recast? Who plays her?
Yeah, Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah.
Who I do quite like.
She's awesome, yeah.
So she's obviously going to make a return.
She's coming back to get revenge for her sweet boyfriend.
Predictions?
You were?
Shall I make my predictions of what's going to happen?
Okay, yeah, go on. Call it now, Tom.
So Victoria's going to rock back up.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to continue to be some disagreement between Edward and Jacob. And then somehow the Volturi are going to get involved. I don't know what they would get pissed off about. But then I do know that Bella gets pregnant, but it's like a half vampire, half human baby, isn't it? So are they going to fight over that?
I'm not saying anything, dude.
Okay, well, I think there's going to be a fight over that,
Mm-hmm.
and then Bella will get turned into a vampire.
Okay.
And I don't know what will happen to the kid. Well, I know that Jacob nonces it, but...
That's enough about that.
Yeah. So those are my predictions. I'll see if they turn out to be true.
Cool, yeah, we'll revisit this.
Yeah.
We'll make a note and we'll revisit.
Well, that brings us to the end.
Wow.
So...
I thoroughly enjoyed that.
If you've enjoyed this podcast, give us a rating of... Well, you don't have to give us a rating of 5 stars. You can give us a rating of what you want to give.
No, give us 5 stars.
But leave us a rating on iTunes or wherever you listen to this.
And
like I say, if I've offended you with my rant against Bella, against Team Edward, I am, of course, wrong. And don't let that affect your opinion of the podcast.
Let us know if you prefer Twilight or New Moon. We all know New Moon's better.
Yeah, so if you want to let us know, you can tweet us. On Twitter. That's the best place to tweet.
You can tweet us on the Twitter.
At On A Roll Pod. Drop us a message on Instagram. At On A Roll Pod.
Yep.
You could email us if you're
that
way inclined.
If you've got so much passion that it won't fit in a tweet, stick it in an email.
Yeah. onarollpod@gmail.com.
That's the one.
And yeah, you can watch us on the YouTubes.
Yeah.
If you really want to, give us a subscribe on there, give us a like on there. And that's about it, isn't it? I think that's all the places that they can contact us.
Yeah.
And do things to us.
Why did you say it like that?
I don't know.
Ew.
I've lost my mind.
I lost my mind.
But yeah, we'll see you next week for the conclusion of the Twilight Saga. Twilight Saga, I should say, if I put my
where
teeth in.
we will see if Tom's predictions come true.
And whether I'm still Team Jacob by the end of it.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't be.
Yeah.
Maybe I will.
Yeah.
Let's hope that Bella gets better grows as a character. Judging from Emma's face, it doesn't seem likely.
Don't get your hopes up. That's all I'm saying.
But yeah, until next time, we will see you.
See you next time.
See you next week. I hope you enjoyed.
Bye.
Goodbye.